Hey everybody, welcome to the Latched podcast. Today on the podcast, Lindi and I are teaming up to talk to you all about the holidays. Things we've learned, the good, the bad, the ugly, and basically how to survive with your sanity intact. You're listening to the Latched podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Wirt, business owner and tired mom of 5. Join us each week as we talk about pregnancy, nursing, parenting, and all things motherhood. Hey, Lindi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So we are right smack dab into Black Friday madness right now around Latch Mama. But we wanted to record this so you guys had something to listen to after this, and so we can kind of talk about the holidays. But it's really hard because we have this like giant mountain in front of us prior to getting us to the holidays. Like we were just laughing that I needed to figure out what kind of turkey to have Instacart deliver. And like I had to like literally make everybody stop talking to me to make sure I didn't get a frozen one because I don't have time to defrost it. So we're still very much on Thanksgiving and Black Friday. But we are here to talk about, I guess, Thanksgiving and stuff, but basically the holidays and you know, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, you know, the different times that everybody feels maybe a little bit more pressure as a mom to perform, you know, and to really, really make things special. And, you know, it's tough. It is so magical and it is so great at times, but I feel like it's also one of those times of the year that we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we forget sometimes, to enjoy them ourselves and make sure that we're finding joy, as well. So, why don't we just start with like, do you like the holiday season? Like as a mom of 6, like what do you think of when people start saying, hey, the seasons are changing, the holidays are coming? Your tree's already up, which is uber impressive. But
yeah, that's a little thing with us. It's it starts getting cold. Mm-hmm. Then people start getting grumpy. And then they're waiting for like trick or treating, and usually like that's our time. And we pick a day, and we're not breaking out everything, but I'm like, I throw the tree together, and I don't care what they do with the rest. But it's like a happy activity, they're all excited and they get happy, and no one's in a grumpy mood anymore. And then we like slowly add the other things, but they look forward to it. Like they love it.
So do they love it being up now? Like, does it still make them happy, or was it just that evening and now you have a tree?
No, now they're still happy. And then they'll like take turns. They're like, okay, it's my turn to like plug in all the trees. Cause we have like 5 little trees around the house. And like we got some little ones. And then there's like a little one on the kitchen counter, and they like to plug them in. And
do you guys do the elf?
No, absolutely not.
No
offense if you do.
I do the elf.
I think it's so fun, and I love to see how creative they get.
So creative.
So I bought the elf. I think Lennox was like 4, and I was like, this is so cool. And we read the book, and he's like, he's not magical. And I was like, no, he's not. And I took it back to the store.
I literally give moms create this wonderful, magical world for their kids so much credit. Because I remember like when the leprechaun would come visit you in school and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I sometimes feel a little bit like I'm cheating my children because we don't do the leprechaun, or we don't do the leprechaun. Yes, hi Black Friday brain. We do sometimes turn the toilet bowls green, but we don't do the elf. We also don't really do Santa, which is a whole nother podcast all in itself. We do like the spirit of Santa, and you know, Santa's there, and Santa is the spirit that reminds you to be kind and giving around the holidays. But they don't think Santa comes down to the chimney, or they do, but they don't. They think it's us that come down the chimney, and like they wonder. Like Alex randomly asked me the other day if I went first or if Daddy went first, and I was like, "What, Alex?" And he's like, "You know, Mom, like at nighttime." And I was like, "Okay, this is getting really creepy." I was like, "Alex, what are you talking about?" He's like, "I mean, Mom, like down the chimney. Like, do you go down first, or does Dad go down first?" And I was like, Alex, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you know, I know there's no Santa, so you guys have to come down the chimney because you're Santa. So, I mean, it's It's hilarious. I mean, I don't know how to make sense of it, but anyways, yeah, we don't do Santa. So Kennedy wants to know what my beef with Santa is. If I was single, I think we would probably do Santa. Eric is very adamant about the fact that it's such a weird thing. Okay, we celebrate Christmas because of the Bible and Jesus and the Christmas story. But you talk to my husband and he's not necessarily into that very much, but that's how he was raised. He was very much raised in a very Christian household. But he feels like Santa doesn't give you the gifts. And he's 100% since the day our first child was born, he has a big deal with lying to them. So even if they ask like a non-age appropriate question, he has such a hard time finding like the perfect kind of like semantic answer to them where like if they're not quite old enough to really know the truth, he still finds a way to tell them the truth because he doesn't feel like kids should ever be lied to. I am 100% sure that there is something in his childhood, whether it's his parents' divorce or all of that, that maybe brings into that. But like his biggest thing as a parent is he does not want to lie to his children. And you throw Santa into the play and you just kind of get there where you're kind of lying to your kids about this mythical person. So that's where we are. I think we all come to relationships and parenthood with our own stuff from our childhood that we've got to kind of work through. So, they know that they're not allowed to tell their friends. They know that they don't need to ruin Christmas for their friends. And they know that Santa has a place in their lives and a place in their heart. But yeah, we don't really do the whole Santa thing. But you guys do, yeah?
We do, but we don't really play it up. We've never done a picture with Santa. We don't. He's kind of there, but we don't really foster create that belief. And now my older the boys. Nora's I think she knows, but she loves that spirit and
Nora's
that
9?
part of it. Yeah, she's 9. But now the boys are I'm you can't say anything. But they help them write letters to Santa because we have this
really
little fake North Pole little light up thing outside, and so it's a little letter mailbox.
Hey, look at you, Mrs. Claus.
So,
seriously, it's November. Is that up right now?
My whole Kennedy came to drop off a shuffle, and it was probably threw up Christmas all in my front yard. I mean, it's all lit up.
Dude, I'm trying to figure out how I get a fresh turkey that's not frozen, and you got a North Pole up already.
It was
in your front
74
yard?
One Saturday, and I was like,
it's going to get done. In case you're wondering, all of our clothing for the winter has been designed for a long time. Lindy doesn't have any design work to do, so instead, Lindy just is completely just Christmas all over everywhere.
I'm sure I do, but anyways. But yeah, so they do. But the boys enjoyed helping them. They're what's the address? And I want to mail my letter, and he's pretty sure it's just North Pole, Penelope. So
that's pretty
with
fantastic.
a little
it's
bit of
really
sarcasm
cute.
in there, but she doesn't get it.
That's really cool.
But I'm secretly looking forward to when we don't have that. But my littles are is Santa coming tonight? The tree's up. Is
but
Santa
I
coming
also
tonight?
remember though, there's this little part of me. I remember when I was 7, we got 2 golden retriever puppies for Christmas. And my parents went as far as having them stay at the neighbor's house for a couple of days because Santa was going to bring these puppies. And my dad always had so much fun. I went on this scavenger hunt, and then I found the puppies in their crate on the porch, and it was Santa, Santa, Santa. But actually, if I remember correctly, that was the year I found out Santa didn't really exist because the kid whose house that the puppies stayed at told me at the bus stop that he had my puppies because he wanted to be I met your puppies before you, and then it all just kind of fell apart. But I do remember that magic, and I think it's really important to somehow find it within the holidays. So we really, really tried to focus on giving to others and helping them learn that there's different magic and there's different ways of being, generous to others and ways to cultivate it. Okay.
But real quick, but I think the fact that we didn't play it up with my boys when they did find out, and they're oh, but do I still get that present? And I'm like, that's not what this is about. But like they were really like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, but I think they were probably there, at that point. But.
I am envious of the moms who can be like, guys, behave. The elf is watching.
Oh,
like,
no.
So not manipulative, because I do not judge it at all, because I have, 5 o'clock on a winter night when it is pitch black and the kids are running around everywhere. I will tell them that Jesus is watching. At that point, we all just needed to calm down. But seriously though, like that is pure genius. If you can pull that off and you can remember to move that elf every night, and then you have that in your back pocket when the sun goes down at like freaking 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and oh my gosh. Yeah. But yeah, we don't have that. Okay. So let's talk about commitments over the holidays. So Lindi and I both have really large families. I have 5 kids. Lindi has 6. For those of you who do not know, I've kind of learned this beautiful thing is the more kids I've had, I've just kind of just started saying no. Like, can you come here? And I'm very lucky. Like, Eric's parents are divorced and very respectful of our boundaries. And then my parents live in Florida. So we kind of have, the ability to set our boundaries and really do things together as a family. But it's a really, really powerful feeling, especially around the holidays when you already have to show up for your kids and you already need to make these things, or some of us feel the pressure to make them special, to just say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look back on the years and we would go, well, number one, I didn't really have the space to have people at our home. We were just kind of starting out, and we had kind of kid after kid after kid. And so I didn't really want to clean up and really didn't want anybody there. And I'm very much an introvert. And I look back over the years and we made a lot of people happy, but we didn't really make ourselves happy. So I'd like to think those choices, they made people happy.
Yeah.
But now we're kind of getting to the point where, yes, we want to be with family on holidays. It's very important. But at the same time, I'd like to enjoy and watch my kids. I'd like to slow things down. And no, I don't want to go here and I don't want to go there. And you can make those choices.
Yeah. And I think
and do what's right for you.
I think for some people it works. And, some people are more extroverted or they love to entertain. Now that we're in our larger house, I do love to entertain. But at the end of the day, like, the change in my children, as soon as there's a lot of people involved or they are showing off for their grandparents or just balancing it all. And this is one of our like nice years where we don't have a newborn. So it's a little bit easier and, you have a nap schedule to work with. I just remember so many holidays by the end of them just being absolutely exhausted, like to the point where I don't even remember the day because we were here, there, everywhere. Kids had napped or they hadn't napped. And that's some of the beauty of the holiday. I'm not talking about having like a 5-year-old or 4-year-old who's giving up their not nap on Christmas because they're going to grandma's house. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like the onslaught of Christmas Eve, Christmas morning, mass, and then you're going here and there and everywhere. And it just becomes so much that the holidays end. And then you look around and there's toys and there's decorations. And I don't mean to think that there's not joy wrapped up in all of those and all of the memories, but holy moly, it's like you need a vacation from the holidays at the end of them. It's just,
it's too much.
It's crazy. So we're basically giving you the permission to say no if you want to, especially 100%. Those of you with brand new babies. And then there's COVID, and have you taken them to see this grandma or that grandma, and who's held the baby and who hasn't held the baby. It all is just too much sometimes. I'm like getting all fired up, and I got like 5 kids that are big and don't have to go anywhere this year. But I don't know. I just feel like from like the grandma mom perspective, I feel like I'm getting to be like an old mom at this point.
Yeah.
But dude, just say no. Have people come to you and then set boundaries. You can tell them when to come and when to leave. I don't know. What do you do about presents? You have a lot of kids.
Yeah. Last year, we're simplifying this year significantly. So I said, you need to think about maybe one or two things. So they're going to get one thing from us. We have a couple of Santa believers, so there'll be something from Santa, but it's small. And then we're going to do that need. Well, the want is from us, the read, the wear, that one. So one thing they can read, one thing they can wear, one thing they really need, and then like a want. So I think it'll be like 5 things.
Yeah. Eric always did 3 presents because that's what Jesus got. And so
back into Jesus.
Yeah, we're back there, guys. Well, guys, we are back there. That was my husband's childhood. It's all good. We respect it. Like I said, you marry into the way somebody was raised. So we had the 3 presents from Jesus because that's what Jesus got. So I'm just dying right now. It's just really funny because when we first started having babies, I used to like hide presents within presents. Like I would make the kids like kits. Like one time I made them like a hibachi kit because the boys wanted to really, really be like hibachi chefs. So I made them a kit. So like it also had like play food in it and like chef's apron
like 10
and like
gifts in
all of
one
this
gift.
stuff. And then so then I made it in this little cart like the hibachi people have when they come to your table, the hibachi chefs. And so like, but then the cart had so much stuff in all the drawers, but that was only one present. See, one present, just like Jesus. So, but now I've started to learn that with 5 children, if you give anybody literally more than 3 things, there's just too much stuff. Like, and I have something really, really against things with a lot of parts at this point. Like that was
where I drew the line this year. I was like, nothing is gonna have more than 3 pieces.
Even just thinking about that hibachi cart right now with all of the food in it and all of the different drawers.
Are you sweating?
And the knives. Yeah,
I'm sweat.
I'm freaking out a little bit. And all the pieces of food you could cut in half, so it was like double the amount of food, and then you couldn't find the other pieces within like by New Year's. We only had like half of each piece of food.
No.
Oh gosh, it's rough. But
no.
So 3 presents. Then he used to tell me that his mom used to hand him like the Sears catalog. Guys, my husband's only like 43 years old, but she used to hand them like the Sears catalog, and he could go through and like circle like the one Lego set he wanted. Where my childhood was very different in the sense that I was a little spoiled. So we try and meet it somewhere in the middle. But this year I just really kind of want to just like get them a donkey or something. Like a Christmas donkey. I don't know. Like just something that's not stuff. Like they have everything that they need. We haven't, since we moved to the farm, we haven't done video games, and like screen time's been cut down dramatically. They haven't even asked for the iPad in like over a month. It's been incredible. So that's why I think like a Christmas donkey would be like perfect.
Yeah. An outdoor theme. Like we're doing outdoor stuff.
But maybe if I only get one thing and it's a donkey, even though Eric said we can't get any more animals, but I mean, that's silly. I feel like maybe if it's like one thing instead of 3 and it's alive, it all kind of like washes out. Because like it's kind of on Jesus trend. Didn't Jesus have a donkey in the manger? Maybe?
Very much. I expect to see that whole little...
Oh yeah. So yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. God, Kennedy is on it today. That's the other thing. That's where you beat the three gifts. So the hibachi cart was one, but then I used to put like real stuff in their stockings, because the stockings were like a free for all. Like his parents, guys, I really truly think like family traditions and blending 2 families, like blending 2 adults together to create traditions for your kids, is a whole nother podcast too, because you have to figure out like, whose food do you eat on Christmas morning? Do you eat his food or do you eat our food? And like his stockings were always left outside of his door, his bedroom door, and they were allowed to open them without their parents involved. Before, like that was how like they started Christmas. And so then once they all got up, the stockings were already open, like in their bedrooms, where we opened everything together. Like, I mean, that's like the cool, like the stockings were like the beautiful, cool part of Christmas.
Yeah, they do. Our kids do their game. They can hit the stockings before we're up. Yeah, but they're downstairs by the tree. But it's so cute because they kind of all wait together, and I hear them. They're in like little circle, and then they're like, "What's in yours? And what's in yours?"
But don't you want to be there to watch their faces?
No. We do all the gifts. They're not allowed to touch those. But
And then they used to get a full box of sugary cereal. The only time in their like whole childhood they were allowed to have anything other than like wheat bran or grape nuts. And like,
this is your kids?
No, this is my husband's kids.
Oh, okay.
Or my husband's kids, my husband's childhood. So now they get, my kids get sugary cereal too. It's all interesting. Does Matt bring any traditions to the table that you had to like? No, not really. So it's all you.
I think we both did similar things. So
yeah,
there wasn't anything new that we had to integrate.
Together.
Yeah.
The kids go downstairs before you?
My kids don't go anywhere apparently without me. My kids don't like to be on like a different floor of the house without me. So we have a first floor bedroom now, so I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't even know where the Christmas tree is gonna go. This podcast is way ahead of before I'm talking about Christmas at the new house, but I don't know. It's crazy though, guys. Like I feel like it's just like family holidays though. Like you look back and it feels so magical and so wonderful. Like every Christmas as a parent has been this wonderful, amazing thing. And I look back on pictures and I'm just so full of joy. Mm-hmm. But then I also remember moments of these holidays where like I'm at my mother-in-law's, bless her heart, love her tremendously, but her house is like a museum with like Intuit art like on the coffee table. Like she has like a ceramic polar bear with this like fish in its mouth that I swear is probably worth more than, I don't know, my minivan. And I just remember being there like late on Christmas when I'm exhausted and the kids are acting out and stuff. But I look back on pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was such a beautiful night. You know? So I feel like at the other side of it, it always feels good. Right?
Yes. I get a little glazed over like after a couple days, the holidays, and I look back and that's where that saying no and slowing down is 100% what I need, because I'll like block stuff out and I don't want to block stuff out. That is like so stressful.
Yeah. Poor Eric's birthday is on New Year's Day too. And that gets missed every year. Oh my gosh. It's an absolute mess. So like New Year's Eve, I feel like we need to have like a party, but now we have a lot of kids. It's a lot, guys. It's like a lot to go from like Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year's. And now you have COVID thrown in this year. It's just a lot. So basically the whole point of this podcast is that we're all kind of a mess and that, you know, it's the holidays. Say no when you need to say no and just pull your family close and the memories are going to feel great. And, you know, get a hibachi card if you need to.
Little Christmas hacks.
Oh, Christmas hacks. Let's see. Saying no. I don't know. I don't like, there isn't, I don't. I always say every year, like, I'm not going to wrap what's in the stockings because that's like too much wrapping. But then I do because I like them to unwrap what's in the stockings because it's just fun, even if it's like a toothbrush or, you know, whatever. I still think it's cool to be unwrapped. I don't know. Do you have any?
So we do, each kid gets their own Christmas paper, wrapping paper.
Oh, wow.
Print.
God, that's fancy.
Well, I didn't really last year, but I've done it before.
So you'd find 6 different ones?
Yeah, and then they just get, so then there's no like,
there's no
whose
tagging.
is whose, there's no nothing. And then I ball up a piece in their stocking, so then they can figure out which ones are theirs.
Oh, that's cool.
And then the other
really
thing I did
cool.
last year.
Because they don't know. They come down.
They don't know.
That big one. I want that
there's
big
no
one to be
fighting.
mine.
Yeah, there's like nothing because they don't know. And then the other thing was over with is any sort of boxes or batteries or nothing. It is all assembled. Batteries are put in. They open the thing, and that's it. I don't need scissors. I don't need batteries. I don't need anything.
So when you unpack, you take it out of the packaging. You throw the packaging away.
I put it together. It's charged. It's done. Batteries are in it. I wrap it up.
When do you start? Like August?
I didn't have a whole lot of things in boxes, but I'm telling you, it was fantastic. Like, it was wonderful. Like, all the recycling was gone before.
That's
so
really
if you
fascinating.
can, I
don't think a donkey comes in a package, so we're gonna be okay with that one. I think all my donkey trash is gonna be gone by Christmas morning. If anybody has a donkey farm, I'd like a miniature one. Or puppies or golden retriever would be cool. Just get a third dog. Be great.
I'm gonna get a shirt that says Fish Mom.
Fish Mom, yes. So Lindi sometimes gets really mad at me, like legitimately mad.
No,
I tell her
I
she
never
should get
get
a
mad.
dog. I mean, she kind of gets mad, but I'm like, Lindi, like you need to get a dog. Like you guys should have a dog. And she kind of gets mad at me because she has 6 kids and she doesn't need a dog. But I think we should have all the dogs. I think dogs,
you can
donkeys,
have all
goats,
the dogs. I will come
pigs.
visit your dogs.
Yeah, my current dog doesn't listen very well. We don't have a lot of very consistency with the dogs. But anyways, so take things out of wrappers. That's really kind of important.
I don't know. Especially if you know it's something they've asked for and you're not returning it. Like,
Wow.
I don't need 6 kids coming at me asking me to open their Barbie that has a gazillion zip ties, and
Wow.
it's just less stress.
That's like a really, really good hack. I'm kind of impressed
I don't
by
know.
it. Do you guys do PJs on Christmas Eve?
We've tried inevitably. Like, I either give them to them early or we can't find them, or one's in the laundry, or like,
I got so angry.
or they're like,
last
I
year.
don't like those. I want to wear my underwear. I'm like, sure. But those underwear are a little small. You might want some bigger ones. Like, it's yeah. No, we're not put together at
But
all.
it seems like you are with everything unpacked. That's impressive. We try and do pajamas on Christmas Eve. But then I kind of get angry because I want that picture, like I want them all to behave for the picture, but they don't really want to behave because it's Christmas
We've never
Eve.
done a picture. Christmas Eve, I want to get like pizza and I want to watch a movie with them and have ice cream sundaes and like go to bed. But inevitably, we go to church and then someone invites us somewhere, so we have to like go somewhere.
Say
and then I
no.
gotta get them
Say
in.
no.
Yeah. So
Moral of the story.
It's like say no
will
and
you-
do what you want to
Will
do.
you do pizza and ice cream sundaes this year?
I want to.
Do it. What's stopping you?
Nothing.
See, do it. Everybody's going to follow up. People are going to leave comments on this podcast and say,
Let me
Lindi.
get through 3 days of Thanksgiving and then we'll tackle Christmas.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's all we got. I don't know
Yeah.
if we learned anything, but just say no. Set some boundaries. Apparently unwrap things before you put them under the tree. That's a great idea. And yeah.
Or don't use wrapping paper.
Cool.
Just
All
whatever.
right. Well, happy holidays, guys. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.